The movement has begun. Hey guys, it's Randy Gage here, and I wanted to take I want to take a lot of minutes actually. I want to take some time and share some thoughts with the team on Fusion, where I think we are, where I think we're going, and what kind of tremendous potential I believe the company has for creating a movement that will span the entire globe. And it's kind of a situation where, so the idea is this is really a video for the team, but you may want to share this with qualified candidates who are looking at the business. Meaning this is not going to be a 2-minute sizzle preview video or anything like this. I'm going to take 30 or 40 minutes and I want to talk about some really important concepts that I believe are driving this incredible growth that we're having with Fusion around the world, and why I think we're going to break every record that has ever been set in our profession. So it's not a video for the casual tourist, right? But if you've got a candidate who is serious about building a business and wants to create a legacy position, create ongoing residual income, they understand something about the profession of network marketing, how the business works, and they would like to, they're considering Fusion as the opportunity, well, this would be a good video for them to look at. And if you're one of those people and you got invited on, welcome. You're going to see I'm not trying to sell you, close you, or convince you. It's not about that. I'm really creating this video because I have discovered something pretty extraordinary over the last 60 to 90 days. Some dynamics that are taking place with Fusion in the marketplace that is like nothing I have ever seen. And understand, I've been in this profession for 30 years. I've been a top income earner worldwide. I've made literally millions of dollars, not in sweetheart deals and cooked positions or anything. I mean literally millions of dollars in commissions on my bonus checks from the organizations that I have built in more than 50 countries around the world. I've been a consultant to companies. I've consulted with the top income earners in literally dozens and dozens of companies. And I would stake my reputation that I believe arguably I've trained more multi-level millionaires than any person alive on earth. So I've seen this business from the corporate side, from the field side as a consultant. So I'm not this isn't kind of a flippant off-the-cuff presentation here. This is some dynamics that are really important. What's going on with trends, the marketplace, Fusion, the global economy, the business of network marketing, the regulation, the regulatory environment we're in. And all of these things are coming together, and I believe they're creating this perfect storm where Fusion is going to do things that no other company has ever done. And so I knew when I joined Fusion, and the leaders who were on the team with me, I think they knew too. We had a great product line. We have a solid, bulletproof compensation plan, great field leadership, great corporate leadership. Integrity of the company was critical, I think, to all of us. But it has really crystallized to me in the last 60 or 90 days some important things that really are going to make this bigger than anything I ever imagined. And I believe we're seeing it already. We are creating a movement around the world. This Take Your Life Back movement, which has gone from country to country, where people they're taking their life back with their health because the products are really some of the most amazing wellness products that have ever been available on planet Earth. They're that good. People who are taking their life back financially, because with Fusion they have the opportunity to get the money thing out of the way, to become debt-free. And their emotional health, just the idea of being able to control their destiny, spend time with the loved ones they would like to spend time with, support the causes and organizations that are important to them. It really is about taking your life back. And we have this movement, and it's sweeping the world. And this is why we're having such extraordinary growth with the team. So there's 7 dynamics that are causing this, and that's what I want to do on this short time that we have together, is I want to go through those 7 dynamics, so it kind of as a training, so you really understand what's happening, and so you make the most of this fusion opportunity. I don't want anybody watching this to take it for granted. 3 years from now, 5 years from now, to say, well, you know, I had that chance with Fusion in 2016 and 2017, and I was in and I had the opportunity, but, you know, I was busy, or I just didn't think it was going to take off, or I want you to really understand what's going on in the marketplace. So let's talk about 7 dynamics that are turning Fusion into a worldwide movement. The first dynamic that I want to talk about is a compelling story. If you want to be successful in network marketing, if you want to be successful in any kind of marketing, if you want a business to go out there and make an impact on the world, or a movement or an organization, you need to have a story that people can hang the coat on, meaning that you can explain it and they can understand it, and the story resonates with them. It's something compelling. It's something intriguing to them. And for centuries, sages and spiritual healers and mystics have been studying Mother Nature for the secrets that she holds for wellness. And the Fusion story is a Mother Nature story. The Fusion products come to us from the heart of the Amazon. The Amazon is the lungs of the planet, the heartbeat of the planet. And because Fusion products are all natural, they come from the Amazon and other rainforests and places like the Amazon, it's a story that people resonate with. The fact that our products are all natural, they're good for you, and you'll see how these play into some of the other dynamics we're talking about. And the real story here is one of the most visionary entrepreneurs in the world. And when I say visionary entrepreneur, I'm talking about on the level of Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, on that level. And that's the level I will put Álvaro Zúñiga, the founder and president, of course, of Fusion. Because Álvaro was so visionary to see what the Amazon was, to know the potential of it, to care about it, to want to protect it, and to want to unleash the secrets, the goodness that was there, and bring it to the world through this concept known as nutraceutical fusion. So the story is how he took these centuries of study, centuries of medicinal knowledge, the Mesoamerican cultures, the Andean cultures, the Asian cultures, all of these people who had been studying the mysteries of Mother Nature, and he put those together with the latest advances in biotechnology to create nutraceutical fusion with an S. Right? So fusing those two things together, which of course created Fusion with an X, meaning Fusion the company. So it's a story that when we're out there in the marketplace, that's the story you tell people. All natural, good stuff from the heart of the Amazon. So it's a compelling story. And this idea of this visionary entrepreneur with all these international patents who has taken mathematical formulas and applied them in biotechnology and merged the goodness of Mother Nature with the latest advancements and amazing scientific breakthroughs, and put together this extraordinary product line of functional beverages that we have with Fusion. Now, second dynamic I think is so important is we have this elegant marketing concept. Because we have a story, right? So you have a story, then you need a marketing concept, meaning you've got to take this to market, and you have to take it to market in a way that will resonate with the population. In other words, that people understand it, that it means something to them, that they know what are we talking about. And of course, I'll give you a couple of examples, by the way. Miami Vice, the television show. Here was the concept behind that. Brandon Tartikoff met Michael Mann at some Hollywood party or something, and he told him, I got an idea for a show I want you to do. It's MTV Cops. And MTV Cops turned into what became Miami Vice, the show, and then of course later the movie. Same thing, the movie Alien. That was sold to the studio. You know what the concept was? It was Jaws in outer space. Meaning, you gotta have something that people know what it is, know what it's about, and then be able to hang it on to something that they can relate to. So this is what we mean by a marketing concept that people get. The fusion marketing concept is so simple, yet so elegant and so profound, because it can be said in 2 sentences. So whether somebody is a prospect looking at the product line, if they're a candidate looking at the business, if you're an entrepreneur building the business and you want to explain it to I always say, if you can't explain your brand to a 9-year-old, you don't have one. So here's the fusion concept, 2 sentences. Here's sentence number 1. You and everybody you know is drinking coffee, tea, water, juice, sodas, smoothies, athletic drinks, or energy drinks every day. Sentence number 2. Just switch to healthier versions of them that probably cost less money. That's the entire fusion marketing concept. You don't need a PowerPoint, you don't need a 50-minute video, you don't need a booklet or book. You want to know the whole concept. You and everybody you know is drinking coffee, tea, water, juice, soda, smoothies, athletic drinks, or energy drinks every day. Simply switch to versions which are healthier for you and probably cost less money. That is so elegant and so profound, and that's why, again, it's resonating in the marketplace, because when you talk to a candidate, they say, okay, I get that. I know exactly what the business is all about. Third dynamic. This is one of the most powerful ones, and I'm going to spend a little more time on this because this is really, really huge. And for you guys who have been in network marketing, who understand the profession, who have seen the industry from different angles, you will recognize this is one of the most extraordinary things that we're dealing with right now. And it's this. Fusion has the most competitive product line of any company in network marketing. Now, why do I say that? Because doesn't that sound like marketing hype or rah-rah, right? I mean, everybody says their products are great. Everybody says their products are the best. But if I'm just talking as a marketer, as a guy who's made literally millions of dollars as a marketer, who has produced literally billions of dollars in sales across many, many different industries over many decades, here's what I can tell you. I really believe Fusion has the most competitive product line of any company in the network marketing space. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 reasons why I'll say that. Because again, everybody says they have great, and let's be honest, a lot of companies do have great products, but they're not necessarily a competitive product line. They're not necessarily a good product line for network marketing, right? Kleenex, right? If I need to blow my nose, I want a Kleenex. That's a good product, right? Not a good product for network marketing. Tires. Tires are a good product, right? If you have a car, you probably want tires for your car. Tires are a great product, but they're not a great product for network marketing. What do we look for in network marketing? You look for products that are unique, exclusive, highly consumable, ones that people develop emotional attachments to. This is why products usually do much better than services. It's great if you have a thing, people save money on their energy bill or their phone bill, their long distance service. There's not a lot of emotional thing with that. When you deal with people's health and energy and vitality, that creates an emotional connection, right? So if I look at these 6 things within why I say we have the most competitive product line, here's the first one. This is the most important one, end of discussion. The products taste great. And I don't know how to say that, and make it sound more profound or more educated or whatever. But do you understand how many people in our profession are working with products that don't taste good, or they're uncomfortable to use, or they're a hassle to use, or they are a problem to use? I mean, and I've done this, I've been in this, like I say, for 30 years, and I have had my share of moments where I have had to represent products that I'd have to say, listen, I understand it tastes horrible, but just put a clothespin on your nose and swallow this because it's really good for you. We don't have to do that with Fusion. We have products that taste great. Not only do we have products that taste great, but they taste great because of great, healthy, natural ingredients. No sugar. All of our products are sweetened with stevia. One of the greatest developments Mother Nature ever did. Stevia is antifungal, it's antibacterial, and it tastes amazing. So I don't want to belabor the point, but I don't want to gloss over this. I cannot emphasize enough how important of a marketing advantage it is to represent a product line that people consume that actually tastes good. Number 2, part of the 6, the cost of goods. You hear Luca Maloney talk about this all of the time. Fusion has real products for real people at real prices. We did more than $100 million last year in sales in Colombia, Panama, Nicaragua, Peru, Ecuador, places with very difficult economies. You can't sell products in economies like that if they're not priced well. The economy simply won't support it. And I've had more than my share of experience in years past trying to market products, trying to sell products in places where people just said, I can't afford them. The products look great, but my family can't afford to spend that much on the products every month. With Fusion, we're talking about every sachet we have, the most amazing one, the most expensive one is $1 and change at full retail. So, I mean, we really have the cost of goods is there. And the reason why is because Fusion spent millions of dollars on research and development. This is the genius of Alvaro Zuniga, developing those processes, which in many cases required machines and equipment to handle the processes that he developed, that he patented, that keeps the cost down, that makes the products affordable. It's the millions of dollars that Fusion spent on building their own manufacturing plants. Again, talk to many people in our profession, and they work for companies that outsource their products. They go to these private label companies and say, we need an energy bar, and we need a vitamin mineral, and we want a protein shake, and whatever. And these companies they have the same stuff they make for 40 different companies, and they mark it up because they got to make a living too. So the products aren't competitive from a pricing standpoint. The sachets are just a good story. They're green. It's so good for the environment. Instead of shipping big bottles of liquid around with all of the packaging that would take for the environment, we have the sachets, which are very environmentally friendly. And again, I have an organization in Hawaii. What a difference it is for them that they can order cases of this stuff and have reasonable shipping. I have people in my team that used to work for those juice companies where they have quart or even gallon bottles of juice that they used to have to pay air shipping from the mainland of the U.S. to Hawaii. And frankly, just the cost of shipping made the business unfeasible for some of those companies. And you see the same thing across Europe and other markets where it's just the cost of shipping just makes it out of reach. Here's three other things that I say about make it the most competitive product line in the world. The first is this, going back to the price thing, that we don't have to justify the price. Now, why am I so over the moon over this? Because I have spent 30 years of my life justifying the price of products that I have represented. Now, I didn't mind doing that because I really believed in those products. Man, almost 20 years ago, I worked for a company that had an amazing energy, not a drink, but a bar, an energy bar, based on the zone diet, 40, 30, 30, the protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Great product. I love the people, I love the company, I love the product. But it was like $2.50 a bar. And this is like 20 years ago. And all the time, every week, somebody would say, well, wait a minute. I was in Trader Joe's, or I was in Publix, or I was in Whole Foods, and there was a 40, 30, 30 bar, and it was 69 cents or 79 cents. I spent the last 10 years of my life working with a gel company with amazing products that I really believed in. And I had no problem telling people, these are good products for you, and they're worth the money because they're good. But some of them, like one of them was a vitamin mineral. And when you have $2 or $3 per gel pack, and somebody says, well, wait a minute, if that's the vitamin mineral, and I take one a day, there's 30 days in a month, times $2 would be $60 a month, $3 would be $90 a month. I was in the supermarket and there was a bottle of vitamin mineral for $8. So of course I would say, well, no, you don't understand. Vitamins, they're pressed, the pressure, thousands of pounds, it goes through your body, you don't get the nutrients. But when you have to spend all your time doing that, it's really arduous. It's really difficult to build a business. And with Fusion, we don't have to do that. There are people in the world today, right now, and you know literally dozens of them, who drink 6, 7, or 8 diet sodas a day with that nasty sugar substitute, which is so bad for them. And they know, if they try to, like, it's like suspending belief and they don't want to know about it, but they know how bad those sugar substitutes are. But they've got that fix, they want that sweet taste, they need the energy boost, and so they just pretend like, okay, we can give them on. We can give them Vita Energia. We can give them Vita Energia Extra. We can give them off. We can give them great products that replace a soda or an iced tea at $1 and change, full retail price. A lot of those people are going to the gas station and the convenience store or the supermarket, and they're buying those shots of energy that are $3, $4, $5, and we've got on for $1 and change. There's people like me who work out in the gym. I see them all. They're buying those bottles of sugary, quote, athletic drinks, $2, $2.50, $3 each. We can give them a healthy, natural, better version for less money. So we don't have to. For 30 years, this is when I say these things kind of dawn on me over the last 60, 90 days. This was one of them. I'm like, wow. We don't have to justify the price with Fusion. We say, hey, you're already drinking coffee, tea, water, juice, whatever you're drinking already, drink this instead and it probably costs less money and it's better for you. Second thing I've been doing for 30 years is educating people. This is what glutathione is, and this is why it's important. This is what good cholesterol is. This is what bad cholesterol is. And I got to tell you, when you have to educate people, and I was willing to do it because that was what you had to do to build a business. But when you have to educate people, again, it's a really arduous process. It's a very slow, labored process to build the business. I used to have a list of 100 everyday items that the person who invented it went bankrupt. And I wish I still had that list. Because there was just 100 different things on it that if I would have asked you, hey, what do you think happened to the person who invented such and such? I'll give you 2 examples from the list that I do remember. One of them was oatmeal. If I said to you, what do you think of the person who invented oatmeal as a breakfast cereal? You'd probably say, well, they must be a billionaire. No, they went bankrupt because nobody knew. Oats, mix it with hot water, you boil it, and then you eat it at breakfast. What is that? Nobody knew what it was. They had to be educated. So the person who came out with it, they went bust. But then Quaker Oats and all these cereal companies came along, and now they make billions. The second example from that list was razor blades, the individual personal razors. If I would have asked you before I told you this, hey, what do you think happened to the guy or the gal who invented razor blades? You'd say, they must make $1 billion a month. No, they went bankrupt. Because people said, a razor blade? Myself, the guys would say, I'm going to I'll slit my throat and I'll die. That's why I go to the barber shop, because they're trained to do that. People had to be educated. And if you've ever worked one of these companies where you have to educate people about your products, it's just you're always pushing this snowball uphill. We don't need to educate people with Fusion. Hey, you're already drinking juice, you're already drinking soda, you're already drinking iced tea. You like hot tea, you like cappuccino? Here's a healthier version. Which leads me to the other thing that I've been doing for 30 years, is trying to change behavior. And again, if you're trying to change behavior, you are pushing that boulder, that snowball up the mountain. And I have done this, again, for 30 years. We created challenges. We created workout programs. I've got a good friend who's in another company. They've got a nutritional line of stuff, right? And so you go through this cleanse with them. And the fourth day, you fast for one day, and all you drink is their beverage. And then on the 10th day, you fast again, and you just drink them. Well, you know what? If somebody's a health nut or a CrossFit enthusiast or something, they'll probably do that. But the mass market people, they're never gonna, they don't want to change their behavior. With Fusion, we don't have to change it. We just say, hey, you already drink coffee, water, juice, tea, soda, blah, 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 blah. Just drink healthier versions. So when I tell you, why do I say we have the most competitive product line? And this is what drives the whole business. How competitive is your product line? And you people who are watching, who are candidates, who have worked other businesses, that it costs so much to ship, or the VAT tax, the GST, the whatever it takes to bring it in your country is so much. The price of the product is so much. The product doesn't taste good. The product doesn't have demonstrable results. All of those things, these are the things that I say, this is the most important thing. And make that the seventh item on the list of why I say it's the most competitive product line, is because the products really do have demonstrable results. Somebody wants to, they want to slim down, they want to get in shape. They take the no-carb tea, they say, wow, that's amazing. They drink the Teramo tea, amazing. Flora Leave, honestly, one of the goals of Fusion, of course, is they want to be $1 billion company by 2020. My opinion, I think we could be $1 billion company by 2020 if the only product we had was Flora Leave. Because if you have a healthy gut, you're healthy. If you're stopped up, if you don't have a good digestive tract, you're unhealthy. That's everything your body, everything you eat has to be processed there. Your body has to take out the good nutrients and it has to get rid of the toxins. And how do you do that? You do that with a good digestive tract. That Flora Leaf, we're talking about 10 billion spores of great probiotic that actually get to your intestine. Because remember, that's one of the things that Alvaro has patents on, is that you actually get the nutritional value from the products. So we could do $1 billion with just the Flora Leaf. So again, these products, the On Drink, the Vita Energy Drink, people notice it right away, right? That's a big competitive advantage. Number 4 thing I want to talk about, the Fusion is in front of some powerful worldwide trends. Now, I've written 2 New York Times bestsellers about getting in front of trends. I wrote a book a couple of years ago called Risky is the New Safe. I have a book out right now called Mad Genius. Both of these books, I'm talking about how you see around the corner. Find out what are the trends, what is the difference between a hard trend and a soft trend, a cyclical trend versus a linear trend. And when you have a hard trend and a linear trend, and you get in front of that, that's when fortunes are created. So let's talk about some of the trends that we're in front of with Fusion. All natural product line. Do you realize that's one of the most powerful movements sweeping the globe right now? People are so eager to get away from synthetic and unnatural and manufactured stuff and get back to nature. Huge, huge movement. Number 2, no GMOs. I understand. We come from, Fusion is made in Peru. That's our home country. Any GMO of any kind is against the law in the entire country there. They don't mess around with that stuff. And you see here in the United States, in Mexico, in Europe, Asia, all around the world. This is a big movement that is starting to take place. Third thing, the dangers of overconsumption of sugar. You cannot get on a medical website, you can't get on a wellness website, a health magazine, you can't pick it up one today without stumbling across an article about how we're consuming way too much sugar, how bad it is for it, how it feeds the bad bacteria in our intestinal tract and gets everything out of balance. And that leads me to the next trend, which is getting away from nasty, horrible, dangerous sugar substitutes. These are big trends that are already happening in the world. Like fructose, right? People talk like fructose is a natural ingredient. This is an industrial food product. It's not natural. And of course, if you're in the US and you see fructose, you can just virtually be assured it came from genetically modified corn or something, because that's what it is the vast majority of the time. These are all powerful trends that are happening, and Fusion is in front of them. All right, let's talk about number 5 dynamic, is Fusion is disrupting through innovation. Network marketing has changed. The wellness business has changed. The health industry has changed. Yet, look at how many companies in network marketing are still doing business the same way they were in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s. You still have people with their whiteboards in their living room drawing circles with the markers. I mean, give me a break, guys. That was great 50 years ago or 30 years ago. But the business has changed. And Fusion is an innovator in the business. I mean, look at the international patents we have. Because of those patents, we have manufacturing processes. We have products that no other company can sell anywhere in the world for 20 years. That's the result of an innovative company. If you look at the back office we have, those tools, so you just log in and the first thing it says, okay, you are 87% of your way to this next rank. And then you say, well, what am I missing? And you click that button and you say, well, you need 200 points more on the left side and you need one more personal senior executive. I mean, I spent the last 10 years begging for a tool like that. This enrollment line tool in the back office where you just, I mean, literally it saves you 10 hours a week. You just pull it up Monday night, let's say the week is going to close on Wednesday. Monday night, you hit the enrollment line thing. It shows you every person enrolling. Are they EF active? Are they EF qualified? What's their volume? What's their highest rank? What's their current rank? I mean, your whole business in a nutshell. That is the most powerful business building tool in network marketing. It's the kind of tool, I can tell you, my leaders and myself, and we begged for a tool like that for 10 years. And Fusion has it already, because it's an innovative company. This mobile app, which we have, which I can see, you haven't seen yet, because I'm in on the development of it, but our team app for the mobile app, we're actually the first network marketing company in the world that's going to have a mobile app seamlessly integrated with the WhatsApp messaging app. Now, why is that? Because that's the #1 app in all of Latin America, where, of course, we're doing business in 12 countries. So we built the app with that just to begin with. So you can build your Fusion business anywhere in the world with a laptop or a smartphone. And if you look, like if I pull up the catalog, the Fusion catalog app, right? I can choose what I want, English or Spanish, then I can just choose which country I want. And if I'm in the US, I say, okay, US, it'll pull up all the US products. I can just check, and so I want to know about this product. I'll click on it, boom, it zooms up. What's ingredients, what's this, that. But then let's say I live in the US, but I want to sponsor someone who lives in Ecuador. I switch it over to Ecuador. Now I know what are the products that are open in Ecuador. But wait, there's more. My favorite, the Fusion X Scan. This is actually an augmented reality app. So you pull it up, it says logos if you want to know the company, you want to get to the company website and the social media, or the products. If you click the product, here's what you do. So let's say you're at a Starbucks and you're meeting with a prospect. And they say, well, what about that on? What is in it? And when do you take it? Whatever. You take this, your phone, you've got the app open, you hold up the product in front of the phone, it zeroes in on the name, and it pulls up 3 boxes. It pulls up a box with what the ingredients, what everything about the product is. It pulls up another one that tells you what's the dosage or the mode of use. And the 3rd box is for a video, which is the product video for that product. And then it also has the share buttons if you wanted to send details of, so that person you're talking to the candidate, here, let me send it to your Facebook page, or let me send you a tweet with the link. So it's augmented reality. Let's say you don't have the product with you. Pick up a cocktail napkin, write the name of the product on there, hold it up in front of the phone. The app will read the thing and pull up the same boxes. I got to tell you, I was doing a 2-on-1 with one of my guys in Miami, and we were with a millennial guy, and he was asking something about a product. I said, oh, well, let me show you something. So I pulled one out of my product, I take my smartphone, I hold it up. I thought this guy was going to wet himself. He was so excited. Because that's the kind of innovation that Fusion is doing. We're not doing the business like they did it in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. We have a state-of-the-art system, the tools, the back office, the mobile apps, the replicated websites, the videos, everything. So you can do it by SMS, you can do it by email, you can do it by online, offline, home meetings, hotel meetings, however you want to do it. We've got all that built in the system. Number 6 dynamic. Fusion is a company with a conscience. Big deal, guys. Not every company has a conscience. Or maybe they all have a conscience. They don't all have a good conscience, right? They don't think of the greater good. They don't do business in the kind of integrity that it would be important to me and probably is important to you. If you look at the Fusion Foundation, the work that we're doing with that foundation, the work we do just helping people take their lives back. If you look at the recruiting platform we use, if you look at how we do the business, you notice I don't have videos here of Lamborghinis, and we're not talking about $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $10,000 a day. We don't do any of that nonsense. Our whole platform is, hey, let's take your life back. Let's get you out of debt. You have credit cards? Let's get people have credit cards with 29, 30, 31% interest. If you pay the minimum payment on that, it takes about 41 years to pay off a credit card. So we're saying, hey, let's get you debt free as quick as possible. Let's pay off those credit cards. You got a car payment? Let's retire that. Fusion has a car program. Let them pay for your car. You got a mortgage? Let's pay off your mortgage, and then you call me up. I'm going to come to your house. We're going to do a mortgage burning party with all the paperwork when you own your house free and clear. And then Fusion has a mortgage program anyway. They'll pay you $1,500 a month. So that's the way we're recruiting. It's just, hey, we've got amazing products. You and everybody you know is already drinking coffee, tea, water, juice, smoothies, energy drink, and just switch to healthy versions. Find people everybody you know who's already drinking those things, and turn them into customers. and get as many customers as you can. And that's going to build a big business for you. And as you're building that big customer base of all those people who are drinking those Fusion products every day, those functional beverages, you're going to come across 10, 15% of them who say, hey, I'd like to do the business too. And they will go out and help support you in building the team and building the business. So that's really what our culture is about. That's what our integrity is about. It's the greater good and doing things the right way, doing things with integrity. So that's it for number 6. Number 7 might be the most powerful from the marketing standpoint, and that is the timing of the Fusion growth trajectory. Understand something. We did more than $100 million US last year. Now, that's a big deal, right? There's literally, you know how many companies in our business never ever get to the point that they do more than $100 million in a year? I mean, we're talking about hundreds. We're talking about hundreds of companies that never make it past their second year. Of the ones who make it past their second year, 80% won't make it to the 5th year, right? So here we have this company that did more than $100 million last year, but has been doing this since 2007. So we did $100 million last year, and we are pre-launch. At the moment I'm doing this is pre-launch United States. We did $100 million last year, and we are pre-launch Europe. We did $100 million last year, and we're pre-launch Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, all of those Russian republics. We're not even close to being open there. We did more than $100 million last year, and we haven't touched Australia, New Zealand, Asia, the biggest market in the world, EU, more than 500 million people. We're pre-launch in all those places. So here's the big deal. The fact that we did $100 million last year, because we have those resources, we have the corporate staff, we have the infrastructure, we have the manufacturing facilities, we have the product research and development. We're a debt-free company. I mean, I have friends in the business, and their biggest problem they have is they can't get product because their companies don't have enough money to stock inventory. So they go out and they bust their butt and they're building business, and then half their products are on back order and they can't build a business because of that. Fusion, we don't have those issues. So basically what I'm saying, you have the resources of $100 million company with the manufacturing, the corporate, and then think of the field leadership we've attracted to come to this $100 million company with the manufacturing, with the resources to be pre-launch in all those markets. With this product line, with the most competitive product line in the profession, I'm telling you guys, we're going to break every record that has ever been set. And forget, everybody wants to be the next billion-dollar company, and I get that, and there's sexiness in that. But let me tell you what I believe with Fusion. I think in the year 2025, there's going to be 250 million people a day who drink at least one functional beverage from a Fusion sachet. Not 1 million, not 5 million, not 10 million. 250 million people a day around the world will be ripping open sachets of Fusion products and making a coffee, tea, juice, soda, smoothie, iced tea, energy drink, or athletic drink, because it's healthier, it tastes great, and it costs less than the alternative. We have got a movement. The world needs this movement, and we are this movement. So make the most of it, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.